Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is RAUDAH binti Muhammad JOHARI. For this group assignment, company project, our group have choose Proton company. I will explain about Proton. Proton is a Malay acronym for Perusahaan Otomobil Nasional, National Automobile Company. Proton Holding Berhad, also known informally as a Malaysian automotive company, an automobile corporation active in automobile design, sales, manufacturing, and distribution. Proton was established in 1985 as Malaysian sole national car manufacturer until the advent of Prodwa in 1993, the second automobile manufacturer after Proton. Proton was incorporated on May 7, 1983 to manufacture, assemble, and sell motor vehicle and related products, including accessories, spare parts, and other components. Proton produced Malaysia's first car, the Proton Saga, which was commercially launched on July 9, 1985 by Malaysian Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, now to Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who conceived the idea of Malaysian cars with the goal of enhancing Malaysian industry. Next, I will explain about Proton's organization chart, which is divided into two management. Number one is board of directors, and number two, senior management. Board of director is led by chairman Datuk Sri Said Faisal Albar, and under the chairman, Proton have four directors. The first director is Ahmad Jauhari bin Yahya. The second director is Amalana Dan Thomas. The third one is Daniel Dung Hui Lee. And the last director is Gan Jia Yu. For senior management, we have Dr. Lee Chun Rong as a CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and Encik Roslan bin Abdullah as a Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Proton. Next is Proton's vision, mission, and also objective. Proton vision to become a successful Malaysian automotive engineering and manufacturing company globally by being customer-oriented and producing competitively priced and innovative products. Proton mission, our company history, is one of the remarkable achievements that we are proud of. Our pride is in the vital force that drives us forward and forces us to take on new challenges. As a national project, the Protons are committed to the acquisition of intellectual ability in the design and technology that will drive the nation to achieve the status of an industrialized country. Proton objective number one, to spearhead the automotive industrialization process and manufacturing industry. Number two is to acquire technology and industrial skills within the automotive manufacturing industry. And the last objective is to seek new opportunities to add value to the business with investment from local and other foreign investors. Proton have sold over millions of cars. They have produced more than 20 models of cars since the company was established in 1983. As we can see in the slide, this is some of the former models that have been produced by Proton, which is Proton Wira, Proton Wajah, Proton Satria, Proton Arena, Gen 2 Putra. And some of this design, Proton no longer produce and discontinue their production because Proton have upgrading its technology and engineering that will help Proton to develop new models of car. Proton car known internationally as a competitive and innovative automobile. Proton is now being exported to 50 countries like United Kingdom, thereby realizing its goal of being an internationally successful Malaysian automobile manufacturer. Proton has also continued to update and refresh the existing product to attract new customers. Proton is focusing to be more customer-oriented and by producing competitively priced and innovative products. Proton have been produced current models of car, for example, Saga, Proton Iris, Proton X70, Proton Perdana, and many more new current model to attract more people to buy Proton cars.
Planning is the fundamental management function that involves deciding in advance what will be done, when it will be done, how it will be done, and who will do it. It is an intellectual process that determines the goals of an organization and develops various ways in which the organization can achieve this goal. It shows exactly how a certain goal can be achieved. In addition, planning is nothing but thinking before the action is carried out. It can be said so because it helps us to look into the future and decide in advance how we will deal with the situation we will face in the future. It involves logical thinking and rational decision making. Other than that, there also have some characteristics of planning, which consists of managerial function, goal-oriented, pervasive, continuous activity, intellectual process, futuristic, and decision-making. Managerial function refers to planning is primarily a managerial function that forms the basic for the other managerial function, organization, staffing, management, and control, as they are carried out within the framework of the realist plan. Next is goal-oriented, which is more focused on defining the organization's goals, identifying alternative courses of action, and deciding on the appropriate plan of action to be implemented to achieve the goals. Moreover, pervasive is pervasive within the field that it's found in all of the segments and it is needed at all of the ranges of the organization, although the scope of making plans varies at one of a career ranges and departments. It is about a continuous process. It is planned for a selected period of time, for example, for a month, a quarter, or a year. After this period, new plans are drawn up, taking into account the needs and conditions of the gift and the destiny of the organization. Therefore, it is an ongoing process as plans are formulated, implemented, and adhered to with the help of every other plan. Other than that, intellectual process is a mental exercise involving the use of the mind to think, predict intelligently, imagine, and innovate. In addition as well, futuristic refer to in the procedure of making plans, we take a sneak peek of the destiny. It encompasses searching into the future to examine and expect in order the agency can face destiny demanding situation effectively. Lastly, it's about decision making. Concerning the selection of opportunity guides of movement that may be undertaken to attain the goal. The opportunity selected has to be excellent amongst all, with the least variety of the bad and maximum variety of super outcomes. In addition, as far as futuristic refer to in the procedure of making plans, we take a sneak peek of the destiny. It encompasses searching into the future to examine and expect it in order that the agency can face destiny demanding situation effectively. Lastly, is about decision making. Decisions are made concerning the selection of opportunity guides of movement that may be undertaken to attain the goal. The opportunity selected has to be excellent amongst all, with the least variety of the best and maximum variety of super outcomes. As we can see, planning is concerned with setting goals. Goals are formulating a plan to achieve them. The activity helps manager to analyze the current state in order to find way to achieve the desired position in the future. It is both the need of the organization and the responsibility of managers. So Proton have their own plan to thrive in the future. As we know, Proton have their own strategic like long-term planning and operational planning, which is short-term planning that focuses on the day-to-day to achieve the long-term goals of the production of company. And with all the planning, it will be make sure that the product can be produced without any problems and welcome by users.
Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm DAYANGKU EZATI binti AWANG TAJUDIN. I'm going to talk about the organizing. Organizing is the process of identifying and grouping the work to be performed, defining and delegating the responsibility and authority, and establishing relationship for the purpose of enabling people to work most effectively together in accomplishing objectives. The purpose of this is to determine how does organizational culture affect Proton's employee performance in this automotive industry. As we know, applying an effective organizational culture represents a special challenge, but it can help Proton in making better products over the long term. Data were gathered by using an online survey with a sample of 210 employees. As an international corporation, Proton, we found out that organizational culture always gives a big impact on the business process and employee performance due to cross-cultural difference.
The third basic managerial function is leading. It is the skills of influencing people for a particular purpose or reason. Leading is considered to be the most important and challenging of all managerial activities. Leading consists of motivating employees and influencing their behavior to achieve organizational objectives. Leading focus on managing people, such as individual employees, teams and groups rather than tasks. The job of a manager also involves motivating his subordinates to exert efforts so that tasks can be accomplished during the required time frame. In today's industry environment, managers also need to be effective leaders in order to inspire their followers to perform their tasks successfully. If managers can lead effectively, it motivates their subordinates to make efforts to achieve organizational objectives. While leaders are different from managers, some leadership is always involved in a manager's job. It means some leadership traits in managers help them be more effective at their jobs. Theory of Michigan Studies is chosen by Proton Holdings Berhad, which is introduced by Francis Likert, a researcher at University of Michigan. He identified two basic forms of leader behavior. Proton Holdings Berhad focus most on employee-centered leader, since we think that this type of behavior tends to be more effective. Employee-centered leader means the managers are interested in developing a cohesive work group or ensuring that employees are satisfied with their job. Their primary concern is the welfare of subordinates. This is because the welfare of the employees are guaranteed. This is because the welfare of the employees are guaranteed by Proton Holdings Berhad. From this action, Proton Holdings Berhad tend to increase the production of the car produced.
The meaning of controlling is controlling function that can be defined as ensuring that activity in an organization, such as Proton, are performed as per plan. The type of control that used by Proton Holding Berhad are pre-action control, post-action control, internal control, and code of conduct and discipline. A pre-action control is that focus on preventing an anticipated problem. They use pre-action control to make sure their car have quality and always get attention from the customer. Post-action control is to focus on the outputs of the company after the transformation process is complete. Internal control is overall responsibility for maintaining system of internal control that provide assurance of effective operation and compliance with law and regulation, as well as its internal procedure and guidelines. Code of conduct and discipline is rules set forth by the board from time to time that must be followed by all employees. This code contains information for prohibitions, tasks, and process pertaining to his or her employment.
As we know, things are already getting worse since our country had to face COVID-19 pandemic. We can see that our lifestyle has changed when we can go to work run our business and go on vacation. Not only that, we cannot easily go outside if we don't have any important things to do, and also we need to wear a mask all the time. For example, in either big or small businesses, they need to close and do their work from home, like company Proton. Their company needs to protect both their employees as well as their customers and the public. It is said so because COVID-19 is not something that we can see, because the virus is transmitted through the air and touch, so that people can go outside if they have important things to do. Due to the MCO, Proton has some backup plan to reduce infection, because Proton has a responsibility to take care of their employees so as not to be infected with COVID-19. Other than that, Proton also took early steps before MCO was announced. Proton canceled all overseas businesses, travel, and enforced work from home. In addition to Proton, their main priority is the safety of their staff to not get infected by COVID-19. Moreover, Proton has good planning to make sure the company keeps running during MCO. As we know, during MCO, almost all the businesses need to shut down. Some businesses have a hard time making sure their company is not closed completely but closed temporarily. Furthermore, maintenance of Proton's production facilities need to be kept going, while service centers need to be open to give service of Proton vehicle used by government agency remain operational. So Proton believe that their company will make a real comeback after the country recovers.
The organizing of the Protons was changed during the COVID-19 pandemic. The government imposed Movement Control Order (MCO), which began on 18 March 2020, has caused major change to the operation for all companies. While seeking to ensure its daily operation continue to run smoothly, Proton has adhered to the requirements of the MCO in order to help break the COVID-19 change of infection in Malaysia. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the sales are going down, and that affect the organization a lot. Efficient human resources are playing a vital role in that situation. MCO has caused a decrease in automotive demand in the market. That's all from me. Thank you.
The third basic managerial function is leading. It is the skills of influencing people for a particular purpose or reason. Leading is considered to be the most important and challenging of all managerial activities. Leading consists of motivating employees and influencing their behavior to achieve organizational objectives. Leading focus on managing people, such as individual employees, teams and groups rather than tasks. The job of a manager also involves motivating his subordinates to exert efforts so that tasks can be accomplished during the required time frame. In today's industry environment, managers also need to be effective leaders in order to inspire their followers to perform their tasks successfully. If managers can lead effectively, it motivates their subordinates to make efforts to achieve organizational objectives. While leaders are different from managers, some leadership is always involved in a manager's job. It means some leadership traits in managers help them be more effective at their jobs. Theory of Michigan Studies is chosen by Proton Holdings Berhad, which is introduced by Francis Likert, a researcher at University of Michigan. He identified two basic forms of leader behavior. Proton Holdings Berhad focus most on employee-centered leader, since we think that this type of behavior tends to be more effective. Employee-centered leader means the managers are interested in developing a cohesive work group or ensuring that employees are satisfied with their job. Their primary concern is the welfare of subordinates. This is because the welfare of the employees are This is because The welfare of the employees are guaranteed by Proton Holdings Berhad. From this action, Proton Holdings Berhad tend to increase the production of the car produced.
The controlling of the proton was changed during the COVID-19 pandemic. The government imposed Movement Control Order (MCO), which took effect on March 18, 2020, has had a significant impact on all business operations. They were more focused on the safety of employees. With staff of nearly 10,000 individuals, keeping track of everyone's health and is a daily responsibility that requires cooperation at all levels. Prior to the MCO, all employee movement outside of the organization was restricted until February 2020.
As we know, the automotive market is growing rapidly in the world with various new brands entering the global market. Proton, as Malaysia's first car manufacturer, has established itself in the Malaysian automotive market. However, Proton is still able to survive and maintain its market. This is because Proton has successfully managed its company based on teamwork of all their organization and based on their excellent planning. They have managed to create, transform, deliver ideas and manage sales well. Proton still has great potential and capacity to perform better in the future to offer premium quality products and service to its customers. Provide more new and enhanced models as new product offerings to existing markets to meet the increasingly intense competition and market saturation. Second, Proton must use both new and existing technological capabilities to restructure their marketing capabilities, thus successfully managing consumer perceptions. Proton can expand using its strengths as well. It will lead to increased revenue from current customers, strengthening relationship with current value chain players. Examples include distributing car products such as engine oil, radiator water, batteries, and other to various branches under the Proton brand. Proton could use an export strategy as an entry mode where risk is minimized.